Um, Trying to get myself together this morning for Sunday sermon. I give you a follow back. Thank you so much for giving me that follow. I guess I am live here today because our Facebook, I am in the clink for Facebook, unfortunately. And every Sunday morning, we do come live and we do Sunday sermon. And I have been a little bit on the struggle bus this weekend in regards to just tired, right? And I feel like my nerves are about this short, and everything has just kind of felt like a big deal. Anybody else can attest to that? If you can tell me if that, say, I kind of have a hallelujah, amen, if you can attest to that. And if you are jumping on over here, I'm going to go to the comments so I can see you. I'm going to go ahead and say, drop me a grateful fed in the comments. Do me a favor if you are watching this on YouTube, say hello and tell us where you're watching from. I'm trying to get that to pop up here. I got the technology here trying to do that. I'm not sure how it's working there. Uh, Thank you so much, Heather. I'm also live in TikTok up here. We've got quite a few people watching us on TikTok this morning, so thank you. But I have spent the weekend just kind of having like everything's been on my last nerve. Anybody else can get a hallelujah, amen. If you have felt like everything has gotten on your nerves, maybe. Just little things, right? And it doesn't take a whole lot to set me off. And I think it's because we have been working on getting the store ready, and we have been burning the candle at both ends. And when I say burning the candle at both ends, I mean not like a slow, beautiful burn. I mean like a blowtorch, and these bitches are like, whoosh, right? We are really trying to my internet's gonna piss me off today. We are really, oh yes, just edgy. Yeah, just edgy, right? And so, one of the things that I was trying to do this morning was I'm like, okay, what is the message in this mess, right? We all know that I talk about it a lot about what is the message in the mess. And I'm trying to get my internet to do something better than what it's doing, y'all. And I'm sorry. If you are on TikTok, it says lost connection. And, it's what happens sometimes. Um, but I'm like, what is the message in this mess? Because there's got to be one, right? There has got to be a message in this mess. And I'm really trying to understand the message in the mess, but I'm not quite understanding it yet, right? I'm still in the mess, apparently, but I don't know what the message is. And so I decided this morning to get some clarity before I came live for my Sunday sermon, right? And I was like, okay, I have divination tools. Let me pull out my cards, right? So I pulled out my two go-tos right now, right? Which is my daily inspiration crystal deck and my Wisdom of Avalon deck. And I said, let me pull some cards out of the Avalon deck. Let me see what that's about. Let's see what the deal is. So I started shuffling and some cards started jumping. And YouTube seems to hold the signal. That's why I'm over here. I'm glad you are. Thank you so much for being over here. If you can make sure you can do a share party, you could share the video into the Facebook group. So maybe we can get some folks over to the YouTube or watching it on Facebook Live. If you are watching this and Heather shared it to Facebook, do me a favor and give us some thumbs up, some hearts, some likes. You can comment on that. We can come back and we can come back through and I can respond to all of those questions if you're not in the YouTube actually like watching it on YouTube. I think Heather's the only one. But I appreciate you for tuning in and trying to find us here this morning. So I pulled some cards. I'm like, some cards started jumping out at me, right? And I was like, let me just go through these cards and see what they're saying to me. So the cards that jumped out were the protection, water fairy, the owl, and letting go. Those are the four cards that popped out. And I went through and I kind of looked at the book. I looked at the cards. I wrote some little symbols that were on the cards down. And protection says, ask for protection But walk in integrity. These are the little notes I took of it, of course. Walk in integrity, ask for protection. But if you walk in integrity, you can't be harmed. And the words power versus force were in that um, description in that book, right? It said power versus force. The next one was the water fairy, and it basically said, don't let your emotions run the show. Emotions are fluid, and so are ideas, and life is like water. It's ever changing, and just kind of go with the flow, right? And don't like grip to it. We kind of live in our emotions, and we don't realize that emotions change very quickly, kind of like the flow of water. And feelings, and since feelings are the fuel for manifestation, we need to be careful about which feelings we're gripping onto and holding onto, and when we're doing things, right? And the next one that came up was owl, and that the things that I pulled out of the owl card, right, were seek truth, um, seek the truth, and that truth is an important ally, and that it says don't lie to ourselves. And this card was a big indicative card about doing some more shadow work, right? It's about how um, we need to seek the truth in the darkest of places around us, and it's about shadow work. And it says it's okay that if we don't tell ourselves the truth, we're doing ourselves, we live in our web of lies, right? And this was the card when the whole message and everything started coming together. So we're going to go back. I'm just kind of giving you the chunks, then we're going to come back and tie it all together, because you know how I do. um, and then the last card that came up was letting go. And it was says releasing attachments and expectations of desires yet unfulfilled. Relinquishing control and allow the mystery to act as she will, to weave life together as it is meant to be according to the cosmos. You cannot force things, people, or anything else to do what you want them to do. You have to let go of all of it, and then you have to let it go and let it flow. And then the last card I pulled was from the crystal deck. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yay, I'm so glad y'all are over here. Let me do some things over here on the YouTube channel. Hello, Melanie. Yes, we can see. I'm trying to see if it'll pull up. It's taking a little bit of time to do it, but it should show up. I don't know why it's not showing your comment. Let's see why it won't show the comment. There we go. So yes, finally comment. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me take that down, hide that. So yeah, we are here live in a couple of places. I'm gonna have to make it work until because Facebook has me in the clinker. So hopefully whenever I get to the shop, the station will be stronger for the TikTok as well. So the card I pulled from the crystal deck was tourmalinated quartz, and that the message for that was get out of your own way. Just don't give away your power by giving in to negative thoughts or trying to avoid or deflect responsibility. You must confront obstacles. Are you placing blame? Are you making excuses? Are you avoiding ownership of your life? And the affirmation with that card was I get out of my own way, allowing my successes to come to me. And then when I pulled that last card, I went back through and I thought about it for a second, and I felt some gripping in the solar plexus. I've got to end the live over here on TikTok because it is not working. It's saying that the internet's not working. So I'm going to move y'all just for a second here. I'm going to move you back over here to the place that I need to have you. And we're going to go TikTok all by itself right now. I mean, not TikTok, but YouTube all alone. YouTube by itself. We had 312 viewers and 1 new follower today. We'll get that straight. We'll do get some internet fixed up. But whenever I pulled this last card, it felt like everything just came together. It felt like the message just kind of jumped off the page at that point, right? And I was like, is this for me? Is this message this morning for me, or is this for the group? And when that last card came out, it was like a voice was just talking to me, right? And it said, hey, there's somebody out there right now who is he's avoiding the shadow work, the who is avoiding who has some things going on, right? Because it was talking about protection, and it was saying that right now you need protection from some unforeseen enemies, and all the protection card was coming. Let me read exactly what the protection card says. Good morning, Meredith. Good morning. Make sure if you are watching this morning on the YouTube channel to do me a favor, that you will go ahead and give me a follow, a subscribe. You'll hit that bell or whatever it is that lets you know that you can know when we are on lives and things like that. We're going to be going live a lot more over here. So what the protection card actually says is this. This marker reminds you to protect yourself and to be wary of hidden agendas. Are you being too open? Perhaps you don't realize it, but you may find that you're a target for others, especially if you're shining brightly. Yet this isn't a time to dim your light. Rather, remember that a spiritual warrior or priestess would always learn how to camouflage him or herself and be armed against potential attack. That is about the right to use power rather than the use of force. And that is the words that kept coming up on everyone. Every one of these cards for me was power versus force. And that is the message in this mess, right? The more we try to force things to happen, the more power we relinquish. We give our power away when we try to stand in force, right? Think about that. Forcing something to work is from a lower vibratory place, right? Where if you stand in your power and allow it to happen and trust that it's going to happen, that comes from a higher vibratory place. So hello, Wendy. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the group. Please don't be a creeper. Please don't be a creeper. We hope you're not a creeper. We get on YouTube sometimes and things get kind of wonky, but we hope you're cool. Um, and it says this is about the right use of power rather than the use of force. Force coming from a place of power comes from a place of highly calibrated integrity. Force comes from a place of lower base and destructive energy. Remember to walk the higher ground, but wear a cloak for protection, right? Always ask your guides and angels to protect you, so they will always come if you ask them. So it's saying here that it's this, right? It's saying that when we walk in power, we know that we're shining brightly. We walk in this high integrity place. And what they're asking of us to do, right, is to walk in that integrity, to walk from that place of power and allow them to unfold what's going to unfold, right? No. We have people that get on here and like start spamming, but I'm glad that you're not. So yes, you need this message today. I love it. We always say that things happen exactly how they're supposed to happen, and if you're here today, then you're 100% supposed to be here today. And so, um, it says this marker also lets you know that the subject of your inquiry cannot in any way hurt you as long as you ask for protection. The divine will always give it, right? So when you're trying to force something, you don't think about asking for protection. Your energy, right? Where your mind goes, your energy flows. Your mind is so focused on the doing of, the forcing of, the task that you're not looking around. You're not seeing any kind of potential hazards. You're not able to cut the problem off before it happens, right? Anybody ever been in a situation where you can't, like they say, you can't see the forest for the trees? That's kind of power versus force, right? So that was the first thing about protection, right? And then the water fairies like, don't let your emotions get ahead of the show. The owl is like seeking the truth because sometimes, and this is the thing where the terminated quartz came into play, right? Sometimes when we let our emotions get ahead of us, when we don't remember to ask for our protections, when we don't want to see the truth in ourselves and own our own bullshit, right? We don't want to own our own bullshit. It's always somebody else's fault. It's the bank's fault we're overdrawn. It's Sarah Lee's fault that we're overweight. It's the boss's fault that we were late for work because they're assholes. And even though we're late and they have a right to be mad at us, they're the asshole, right? It is the inability to own our own bullshit that causes a lot of our grief in our life, right? And then the terminated quartz came up. It was get out of your own way, right? Get out of your own way. And it was basically saying that you are your own worst enemy. So much of our distress, so much of our problems in our day to day life is created And it is fed and it's fueled by our own negative self-talk and our own inability to walk the walk, right? We talk the talk, but can we walk the walk? And that's where we feel like we have imposter syndrome, and that's where we feel like this, we feel like that. So what this is saying is get out of your own way. Where am I placing blame? Where am I making excuses? Where am I avoiding ownership of my life? And I want you to look at those things and see if those are not places in your life that you want improvement, that you want to be a better human being, right? Not to tell me how to love this throughout your message. Just throw some hearts down here. Share this live out in all of your places if you don't mind. It's public live. Please give this a share everywhere. We're going to be live. This YouTube channel is going to get more robust, especially with me going in Facebook jail so often these days. I'm going to start trying to get my YouTube and things up and running a little bit more solidly. But I'm not blaming Facebook for putting me in Facebook jail. I went against community standards, and I probably did. And I was like, I own it. People said, "What did you do to get put in Facebook jail?" I don't know. Maybe because I posted about New Flower. I don't know. I do know. I posted a post that went against community standards, and that put me in Facebook jail. I rolled my dice. I shot my shot, and it didn't work out, right? And so as we look at this, and I was like, what is going on? Where are all these things happening? Why am I feeling like I'm feeling? Why am I feeling short tempered? Why am I doing? I said, this makes sense. This all makes sense, right? And the voice that came through, and I pulled that last card, I was like, what is this message? I'm like, is this for me? Is this for the group? And it says, um, you always say if you're pointing this way, your thumb's pointing like this way. It doesn't mean that it's not for the masses, even if it is for you, because normally it's kind of like when you're in a giant room and they're saying no question is a dumb question, because if you're thinking that somebody else is too, just be brave enough to say it. So a lot of times when these messages come through this way, it may be something that I'm very much dealing with. But it's kind of like there's no such thing as a stupid question. There's no such thing as a message that doesn't probably apply to more than one person. And if I feel like it's only for me, that is my ego speaking. That is my ego thinking that I'm the only person dealing with some bullshit this week, right? That I'm the only person who gets inside my head and forgets about power and tries to force. That I'm the only person who forgets to ask my angels, guides, and helpers to step in and help me. I call them in, right? And I say, make me a clear and perfect channel. Help me do this, help me do that. And, it's interesting because I have really been going into the shop every day. I have been, um, I have been putting on my protections. I've been putting on a face of makeup. I've been putting on my bracelets. I've been putting on my earrings. I've been doing those things. And it was interesting because yesterday I did my live and I talked about putting on my face or whatever and how that's my protection. But I did not put on my bracelets. I did not put on my earrings. I did not put on my necklace. And yesterday went to hell in a handbasket as far as emotionally, being like grounded and planted and being able to not let things hurt my feelings for no reason, being able to, be objective in things. And I know that I let the water fairy, I forgot about that. I let the emotions run the show yesterday. And I feel it today. Like I have terrible stomach pain. It's like gripping in the stomach. I got some solar plexus issues. I can feel it. Like I know. And that's what I woke up this morning. I'm like, I am not. And I was sitting there really trying. I said, I don't want to force. That's what I said. I said, I don't want to force a message this morning. I'm like, I'm already can't go live in Facebook because I'm in jail. Is that the universe telling me is the universe telling me that I need to stop going live for a minute? Because like on, bingo night, I've been journaling through like maybe I need to take a step back from so much online. And that's power versus force, trying to figure that out. And when I did this morning, I went outside and I did the things that I said I should do. I tell y'all to do. I got some water, I got my cup of coffee, I went outside in the fresh air. I took some deep breaths. I let the cool air hit my skin. I asked my angels, guides, and helpers to help me, get a message that was meant to be. I actually spent some time in my journal, and so I felt like I stood in power, that I'm walking in integrity, and that was the answer to me, right? That was the answer to me. It was commit to the process and detach from the outcome. What I'm here to do is from a heart mission. What I'm here to do is to be able to bring a message on Sunday mornings that someone needs, right? The power of one. And that's what my God's told me. Is like, even if one person other than you, even if it's you today, Tammy, even if the one person today that needs this message and needs to hear this message out loud is you, you're part of the collective and you matter. So it doesn't matter. You need to detach from the outcome and commit to the process. Stop blaming others. Stop worrying about what it's going to do. Remember, what's up, Grateful Fed from Cartersville? Gotta go with the hubby to catch the ball. Definitely catch the replay. Love you. I love you too. Um, is that my yay? I'm so excited y'all are here. And so it was the power of one. It's like if you're going to be a part of the power of one, remember that. So this message is for maybe one other person, maybe no other persons, maybe for me. But it is about the fact that here's the thing: get out of your own way. You have everything that you need within you to achieve everything that you want in this world, right? Just remember not to ask your guides and helpers, right? Protection. It's kind of like my get clear to get calm, clear, cool, collected, connected. You know that whole thing. It's all about right asking your angels, guides, and helpers, like say, hey, I'm aware that not everything in this world is to my highest and best. And right now, I'm leaning in to ask you for protection and guidance, and ask your angels, guides, and helpers for that. And they will send that in the form of mentors. They will send that in the form of you'll be watching TikTok and something will come across that you needed to hear. You'll be watching YouTube and you'll find me maybe. So get clear about needing protection. Ask for the protection, right? Ask for the protection to come in. Ask for your angels, guides, and helpers, and all of those that are there to assist you to come in and create a protection hedge to protect you from any harm. And know that if you are walking in integrity, if you are doing the right thing, right? And that's the important part of it, right? If you're gonna get a karmic lesson, if you're gonna have a soul's contract, if you're gonna have something that's gonna go haywire, most of the time, right? You're not walking in integrity. Sometimes you're doing the dirt, right? Sometimes when things bad happen to us, we're not walking in integrity and we're not protected when we're not walking in integrity. Sometimes you have to stumble and fall to get back onto the right path. So if you are walking in integrity, then you are divinely guided and protected. And if you're watching this and if you maybe you're a younger person and you're always not doing the right thing, your parents are always up your buttholes, they're always mad at you, it's because they know when you are and are not walking in integrity. They know that when you're doing the right thing, you're fine. But do they always trust that you're always doing that integrity thing? Because your brain is not formed yet and you cannot make all the best decisions all the time. But if you walk in integrity, and that's where I always work from that place of I always do my best. So knowing that I work from a place of high integrity and I'm standing in my power, I feel protected, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Okay. So now that you are protected and you understand that walking in integrity, you can do those things, right? I want you to think about the next card that came up, the water. Okay, I'm not sure who is still here. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm trying to see if I'm back. I'm saying that I'm back. We'll see. I just sent a message over that says I'm back. I'm not sure if I am or not. Okay, there I am. There I am. Sorry, y'all. My internet crashed out. I don't know if y'all heard all the cursing that I just did, but we were talking about how if you're walking in integrity, you are divinely protected and guided, right? You don't have to worry about it because if you're doing the right thing, you are standing in your power, not forcing things to happen. You're going to be straight. So then it's talking about the water fairy. So even if you're walking in integrity sometimes, right? Even when you're walking in integrity, because we all try to walk in integrity. I'm going to assume that about all of us, right? Um, do me a favor real quick and drop me a hey, grateful fed in the comments so that I know who's here and who's not. My internet crashed, but I'm back and I'm in full force. So the water fairy talks about how as our human existence goes along, as we participate in this universe as human beings, things are going to happen, right? Even those of us, and that's what that this is the card that I needed to hear today, right? And one of my friends told me this a couple of weeks ago when I had back before I got sick. I've had a couple of big like tower moments in the past in the recent past here, and she said, Tammy, even a bad bitch has a bad day. And that is kind of what the water fairy is reminding us of, right? The water fairy is reminding us, right, that um, don't let your emotions run the show. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't get your feelings hurt and then everything blow up. Because so many of us, right? So many of us, we get on this like everything's going good. Everything's going good and we are flowing and we are in good shape and we're happy and everything's right in the world and we are like, love and light, and I'm going to hold space for you, and everything's coming up roses, and we're good. And then something happens that trips us up for a second, right? Then something happens. What's up, Jordan? What's up, Grateful Fed? Something happens where our emotions come into play: a death, a breakup, a loss of a job, an illness. Something happens, right? And we don't realize that that is just a stumble in the road. And I have something over here that says, never let a stumble in the road be the end of your journey. And so many of us, when those emotions kick in, right, we're walking in integrity and then something happens, we get derailed by the emotional side of it. The emotional body kicks in. That mental body is working great, that spiritual body is working great. Something happens and the emotional body kicks in, and then everything goes off the runners, right? How many of you have ever been doing like a diet plan or like you're like, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing all the things to get my body in shape, and you are determined to do it, and everything goes good, and then you do something like get a cold, or you do something like you turn your ankle and you have to take a couple of days off of it, and just something like that, like little stumble in the road becomes the end of your journey because you get derailed, and then you start getting inside of your head with those negative self-talk saying that I can't do this, it's not possible, I deserve these Pop Tarts. I deserve to sleep an extra hour because I'm tired. We start giving ourselves this negative talk about how we can't. We're forcing ourselves to believe a certain way is what that negative self talk is, right? So this water fairy card wants to remind you, right, that just like water, emotions and those feelings are fluid. They're flowing by you. Give it a moment to flow on by. We all have a minute to sit in our feelings, but let it run over you like water. Let it roll off you like water off a duck, right? Have the moment, cry the tears, but then stand back in your power. Don't allow that to force you off your path, if that makes sense, right? Yes, I love that. I love that. I love that. Right? So we do that so many times. We're talking ourselves out of things, right? And that is where then the owl comes in, right? Because here's the things. What the water fairy says is that emotions are fluid like water, they're ever changing. But feelings, exactly like emotions emote motion, right? Um, Feelings are the fuel for manifesting. And we believe that negative self talk so much more than we believe the positive stuff. The positive stuff, we're kind of like, I'm going to try to do this right. But we know that we'll claim those fuck ups. We will claim those fuck ups. I'm gonna fuck it up. I know I'm gonna fuck it up somehow. If it can be fucked up, I'll do it. How many people have said that? If it can be fucked up, I'll find a way to do it. I've said that. That is manifesting. That is fuel for manifesting. You just put out to the universe exactly what was going to happen. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are exactly right because the power is here. So when the water fairy shows up, don't let your emotions run the show. Okay, remember that. Understand that you can feel the feelings, but don't live in that feeling land, right? Don't live in that. Don't live there. You have to let that flow over you and keep moving. Because then the owl came out, right? Then the owl comes up. That was the next card that I popped out. And it was like seeking the truth about yourself, right? And then it says, seek the truth in the darkest places around you. Work your shadow work. Don't lie to yourself. Because so many times we tell ourselves these terrible, terrible stories. You do deserve more. You are worth it. You can do this. You can do hard things. We tell ourselves all these stories about how I don't deserve this. I'm not worthy of this. In the past, I have always done X, Y, and Z, so obviously it's what's going to happen now. And the owl is a great ally. The truth is a great ally, right? But here's the thing. You control that truth. You control that truth. You get to be the author of your story. You get to write this. Nobody else does. That is your decision to make. That is your decision to make. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself about who you are. You live inside your head, and that's where the imposter syndrome comes out from. I am very self-aware. I know when, where, what, why, and how, right? And I do my best every day to walk in that integrity. And I understand that the water fairy shows up in emotions sometimes. Yesterday, water fairy ran the show. But I didn't let the water fairy run the show to the point where I'm derailed for a month. I was derailed for a day. And next time it might be half a day. And the next time it might be an hour. And the next time it might be a moment. Next time I'm not even really good. But, it happens. Things happen. But I want you to remember, right? Seek the truth in the darkest places. Do the work. The reason why it only lasts for a day is because when I recognize it, I then journal through it and do the work to try to work through it. I don't just allow it to be pushed somewhere else to come up again. I don't say, well, that was an asshole move of me. Okay, I guess I'm sorry. I'm not saying that's how that works, right? That's not what the protection, that's not walking in integrity, right? Walking in integrity is when you let those emotions run the show and you act like a fool, right? You act like an ass and you do all the things that you stop and you sit down and you actually own where you allowed things to fester to the top. And why did you let that fester to the top? Because of an old piece of trauma or an old trigger. And that's where the work comes in. That's where I'm making the same mistakes over and over and over. And that's where that last card came into, right? Letting go. Releasing attachments and expectations of desires yet fulfilled. And it says here, right? You have to let go of old ways of being. You have to let go of old negative thought patterns. You have to let go of those things that no longer serve you. You have to say, when you ask for that protection, help me to do the things that are to my highest and best. And if you continue to make choices that are not to your highest and best, you can't keep asking why. So letting go of those things is not just it's letting go of the guilt surrounding it, but it's letting go of doing those things in the future. Saying, I am no longer going to allow myself to make choices. I am standing in my power. I am not going to make choices that are not to my highest and best. And I'm asking my angels, guides, and helpers to help me do that. I'm going to be doing things that are life fulfilling and life affirming, not life negating, right? When you're at the crossroads, doing the harder things sometimes is hard, but that is part of doing the work. That is part of getting out of your own way, right? Get out of your own way. Don't give away your power by giving in the negative thoughts. And the negative thoughts put you on the negative path. Good in, good out, right? Good quality thoughts, good quality people around you, things like that. That is how you make a difference in your world. If you, we talked about this at our retreat the other week about how you cannot find a solution from the same space the problem was created. You cannot find a solution to a problem in the same space that it was created. You can't stay living in your drama. You have to remove yourself from that sometimes. You have to say, this no longer serves me to my highest and best, and I have to make decisions and hard decisions. And it says here, don't give up your don't it says don't give away your power by giving in to negative thoughts or trying to avoid or deflect responsibility, right? You have to confront your obstacles, and that's what happens so many times. So many times these kind of talks are like, yes, I need to hear that, like, yes, like, hallelujah, amen, I've got to stop doing that. And then the next time that it comes up, what do? The same exact bullshit and expect a different result, and that doesn't happen, right? You can't do the exact same thing and expect a different outcome. That's the definition of insanity. What you have to do is you have to stop blaming others. You have to stop making excuses. You have to take ownership of your own bullshit. And that's the hard part, right? That's the hard part. And that's the part that you have to do. That's how you get that protection from divine. Is that you start walking in integrity. You start owning it. You start saying, hey, maybe I'm the problem. What is it? Hey, it's me. I'm the problem. It's whatever the hell that is, like the Taylor Swift song. I know sometimes I am my own worst enemy. I am the problem, and it's okay and that's not giving away your power. To me, that's standing in my power. Owning my bullshit is me standing in my power. I is with great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility, and I understand that, and I'm asking you to own your nonsense. Right? I'm asking you to do it. If you're someone who's like, oh, I'm the world's worst. Here I am. My joints hurt. My body hurts. And one of the things that I've done research on, extensive research on, is healing your body with plant based medicine and fixing it with food. And what do? I eat a pecan pie last night after dinner because I needed my overnight medicine with sugar and gluten and all the things in it. Now, that is me giving away my power and knowing what I need to do. I can't get up this morning and even be complain about my joints being swollen. I cannot complain about my hips hurting because I know that I did not do what I could do, all the things in my power I could do to make sure that I didn't feel bad. And that's why I'm trying, right? Um, I mean, with wellness, I'm going into cleanses, recipes, things like that that are to my highest and best. Right? I have to stand in my power and make a change. It's probably why my emotions are high because I'm going through that. Oh, I got to do all the things. I got to let it go and let it flow. I've got to learn, right, to look at the owl and seek the truth around me. How many of you right now, tell me in the comments, I don't need to know what it is, just yes or no. Is there something in your life that you know is not to your highest and best? A monkey on your back right now? Do you have something in your life that you know that you are this message is about today? Something that you need to be able to own that you are struggling with? Because I do. I have my struggle with my ability to choose the right foods all the time. Food is my comfort. Food is my love language, and so for me, dietary things are difficult, and choosing the right thing all the time. That's where I tend to self sabotage myself is with my diet, especially with my autoimmune. And this message is a lot for me. A lot of the reasons why I'm emotional, a lot of reasons why I'm mad at myself because I get tired of hurting. And it's like, oh, so much of this I could maybe like overcome if I did a few little extra things. And I don't want to be an imposter. I want to be able to do those things. And I've gone down to 3 people over here. Like somebody, I must have poked a nerve on somebody, or my internet's shitty. I don't know. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's food. Maybe it's sex. Maybe it's a partner. Maybe it's a friendship. Maybe it's an addiction to shopping. Maybe it's just doing for others versus doing for yourself. We all have something, right, that we grip onto that is not serving our highest and best. And if that is something that is affecting your life today or at any time, and you need a little bit of needed to hear this today. Thank you for tuning in. Um, we are going to do another card for the collective today who's watching on here on YouTube today. This was more of like help me get the message together, but I always pull a crystal affirmation card, which helps us to kind of set our week off, gives us some journal prompts. Thank you so much for coming over here to YouTube today. I appreciate you for subscribing. Please share this channel with your friends. It's going to be cleaned up and put together a little bit better. We're going to be doing some cooking videos, some classes, some things like that over here. And for the next 29 days, I will be doing my lives over here in YouTube because I'm in the Clink on Facebook. And this might be where we move a lot more stuff to Instagram and to YouTube as well, just because I'm trying to get my social media a little bit more robust. So we're going to pull a card today that's to our highest and best. It'll be our journal prompts. I'll be back live tomorrow with our Rise, our Wake and Bake, and then we have What's Up Wednesday on Wednesday night, and we have Wake and Bake on Friday. We're going to start doing a tea segment on TikTok on Thursdays. Wait for that. And then today we're going to ask for the card that is to the highest and best of the group that is watching. I always say we're going to take some deep breaths. We inhale the good shit in through the nose. Or we exhale the bullshit out through the mouth, out through the mouth. And then we're going to do that a couple more times to get our energy right because I can feel the anxiety today. Inhale the grateful, exhale the thankful. We also have a 30-day gratitude challenge over in our Facebook group. We're going to have other people post that for me for the remainder of the month. But everyone who comments will get entered to win. So make sure you are commenting on that over in Facebook every day. And our card today for our collective card is going to be Lapis Lazuli. And it's make a decision, right? It's the blue stone. It's about the throat chakra as well. Let's see here. Make a decision with Lapis Lazuli. This is the collective card for the group today. Let's see what we have to say about that. HIJKL, Lapis Lazuli, right? Decisions. We spend so much time trying to avoid them. There's a time to be thoughtful and contemplative, and then there's a time to make a choice. Avoid the trappings of staying in limbo and commit to the decisions you make. Your inner wisdom will guide you, but it's up to you to see your choices through. Let go of your needs for a backup plan or escape route and trust that you have made the right decision for you. Invest yourself fully in your choices. You can always change your mind, but you have to make up your mind first. This goes right along with all the things we're talking about today. So many of you, if you talk about, like we talked about our C's, right? Get clear, get calm to be connected, or collected to be connected. And that is about Lapis Lazuli making a choice. That is about getting clear. That is the very first step in all of this, right? It's the very first step about getting clear about what it is you want, making a choice. Making a choice. When you choose that integrity, you can choose that decision that moves you forward, you can then ask your guides for help, right? So, core questions, right? If you could make a wish, what would you wish for? What was the last sign you received to let you know you're on the right path? That's great journal questions, and I want you to write those through. And if you've not received a sign, ask your journal a question, and then ask for a sign, and then journal about it. And then your crystal affirmation this week is there's magic all around supporting me. There's magic all around supporting me. That felt really good. There's magic all around supporting me. I'm going to affirm that big today. Today, pay attention to the signs from the universe that show up in your life, letting you know you're exactly where you need to be. Make a choice today. Get clear about what you want, right? Get clear about what you want. Get out of your own way, right? Tell yourself the truth. Own your shit. Know that the universe is here to protect you. I'm anxious to hear maybe what signs you get this week that you're on the right path, that you're walking in integrity. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in today. I hope that you will continue to follow me in all the places. We are going to get off of here today. We're going to call it a Sunday. Go out and enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. It's a little crisp outside here in Virginia. I'm going to go take some deep breaths. As we always end these lives, we always have a little catchphrase that we say. We hope you'll tune back in. We hope that you'll keep following us. We have some great things happening, dropping for the holidays the next couple of weeks. Know that you can find all of your elevated Christmas needs or holiday needs here at the Hometown Hippie. The website is www.peaceloveandfeast.com. They'll start seeing new things dropping ASAP. And on that note, as we always say, peace, love, and feast. And hey, everybody, stay elevated. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.